Tonight, the teen who opened fire at Townville Elementary School, killing his own father, Jeffrey Osborne, and 6-year-old Jacob Hall, is going to prison for the rest of his life. Jesse Osborne was only a teenager when he committed one of the most shocking acts of violence in Anderson County. Now the school he targeted, the victims and their loved ones have some closure, knowing Osborne will spend the rest of his life in prison. A judge sentenced him to life for the 2 killings and 30 years for attempted murder for the 2 other students and teacher who were hurt by gunfire. It's the verdict these families have waited for since 2016, when Jesse killed his father inside their home, then stole his truck and drove it to the Townville Elementary School playground, where he wrecked it, jumped out, and opened fire while the children were out playing. Jesse himself actually spoke to the judge today, right before he was sentenced.
I don't exactly know why I did this, but I just ask that you give me hope for a future and get me help, because I do need help.
The judge told Osborne he never imagined he'd be sitting in the courtroom addressing a teenager who faced life in prison for the horrific things he did at only 14 years old. Fox Carolina's Shel Ramin has been following this case from the very beginning. And only she spoke with Jacob's mother after sentencing.
RENAE Hall says she forgives Jesse Osborne for killing her son Jacob, but she will never forget. She's keeping Jacob's memory alive in her every day, and when that sentence came down, she and the community say it's not about revenge, but justice.
Bullet holes defacing the classroom door, a blood-soaked classroom rug, and focused employees fiercely attending to the wounded.
On the last day of sentencing, Townville teachers and parents went back to the beginning, telling the court about a moment of terror in September 2016.
Before September 28th, my biggest fear during recess was a child falling and getting hurt. Because of the actions of Jesse Osborne, recess will never be the same.
This teacher shot protecting her students says when the recess bell rings, she's instantly taken back to the day Jesse Osborne opened fire, killing his father, Jeffrey Osborne, and 6-year-old Jacob Hall.
I know that that's the kind of baby Jacob was. He forgave Jesse way before he ever left that playground, and I know that he would want me to. You know, I have to be forgiven for my sins, so I have to forgive those who have sinned against me.
Triggers like a loud car or a pop of a balloon sent everyone back to fear. Images like cupcakes half-eaten lying on the concrete. This grandparent says her birthday boy was also shot that day.
But what will always remain in his memory will be on his birthday. His friend Jacob was basically killed on that date.
Even Osborne's family says this shooter is not the Jesse they know.
Something changed, because I can tell you that that is not the child that I've known all of his life.
This judge handed down the maximum punishment while a community moves forward, staying Townville strong.
It was a relief. He took a life and he deserves a life. Just live life knowing that, you know, Jacob will always be there. We may not be able to see him and feel him, but he's there.
Now, the judge said he read through dozens of pages worth of documents in order to come to this decision. In the end, he was most concerned with Jesse's lack of remorse. In the newsroom tonight, I'm Shel Ramin, Fox Carolina News Tonight.
Osborne's attorney, who was emotional talking to the media after the sentencing, says he will file an appeal within 10 days.
We're going to file an appeal. He knows there's a lot more steps to this. The issue of giving juveniles life sentences is a very complicated issue.
His behavior hadn't changed since then. It's just part of a long pattern of just constant misbehaving up to the point where he did what he did with the Townville shooting, which is, it's one of the worst things we've seen around here in a long time.
Jesse Osborne was taken away by the Anderson County Sheriff's Office after the sentencing. He's in the custody of the Department of Corrections tonight, and he will stay at Kirkland Correctional in Columbia with other 17-year-olds until they move him to a permanent facility. And you can find more testimony and reaction of today's decision in our Fox Carolina News app. You can download it for free in our App Store or Google Play.